Welcome back. That's what we will learn this week. It's just the Drake and Jake show this week. Damn, that is a cool mug. Wow, it just starts it off strong with the cool mug. That thing's fucking
My only souvenir from Red Fair.
Dude, that's sick.
I got that and then a matching teacup.
That's pretty awesome. Anyways, I'm gonna bring that point back up in a sec. Anyways, welcome back. What we learned this week. The Drake and Jake show this week. Walker's gone. We don't know where he's at. He might have been abducted by aliens this time.
Might have been.
Who knows? But, we'll figure it out.
It's his turn to get probed.
Hopefully, he's getting probed. Hopefully, he'll be back next week. Anyways, I think I got it this time. You ready? Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit it, don't quit it. Hit it past to your friends. Don't hide your kids. Don't hide your wives, because we out here making great content. If you broke bitch, go to our Patreon. Or no. Go to if you want to. Not if you're a broke bitch. What was it? It was if
you're a broke bitch.
If you
don't worry about it.
If you want to subscribe or if you want to help support the channel, go to our Patreon, patreon.com/WWLTW podcast. If you're a broke bitch, you used to be able to go to our Venmo. I don't have that anymore. So just go. If you're a broke bitch, we still love you. You're still amazing. If you want to support us, go to the Patreon, patreon.com/WWLTW podcast. I did get that up and running finally. Oops, hit the mic. I did get that up and running finally. So,
nice.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that off air too and see what fun stuff we can offer to our Patreon people again.
Fuck yeah,
anyways,
dude.
Welcome back. So excited. Right. Another episode 3. We're at, which way? That's our subscriber count.
1-5.
We're going in. We're going up, boys. It's 185. The goal's 200. We're trying to hit the 200 by our first month. And right now we're looking pretty good. That number's looking good. So,
smooth.
Anyways, oh no. What a shit show. See, Walker leaves the show and we just
it just derails.
Tanks so quick. Oh man. So anyways, how was your week, man?
Oh, it was good. It was good. Pretty crazy all over the place. I started the new job, got everything situated there.
Nice.
Got the pop-ball moved in, so getting him situated and everything. So I guess that's a new event. I got a puppy, so that's
puppy.
Yeah, he's a good dude. A little skittish, but he's getting used to the smells and the area, the noise in the neighborhood and everything. So
that happens.
Yeah, he's doing pretty good, pretty swell, pretty good on this side. What about you, bud?
How was your week? Same old. Just it was my birthday, so Katie came into town to surprise me. 1 year closer to 30, bitch. 29, baby. 8, bitch. So yeah, we had fun. Got to show Katie around Sarasota, and go to some of the fun touristy kind of spots.
Fuck yeah.
Also had COVID the exact same week that my birthday was, so that fucking sucked. That was rough.
Yep.
I was like, cool. But luckily it didn't interfere with us like hanging out and us going out and her coming into town and stuff. So the timing ended up working out pretty well. But
so we were like coming off of it and all
exactly.
That
yeah.
Nice.
So yeah.
Nice,
otherwise,
that
was pretty much it, man.
Good deal.
I was gonna say though, your mug thing.
Yeah.
It reminds me of. Have you seen Seth Rogen's website Houseplant?
I think so. Where he's got like the rolling tables and shit.
So it's like all handmade pottery that he makes.
Oh.
And then sells the pieces.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah. So and now it's like Houseplant started as like I think just marijuana dispensary for Canada, and it was his like dispensary that he teamed up with. But then it became this other whole thing where it was like his pottery stuff, and now he's even doing a competition, or not a competition. It's done now because I looked into it. But he has an Airbnb that you could rent for like $50 a night or something like that, and the Airbnb was like one of his houses, and he came and like did pottery with you.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's fucking sick.
Are we talking like pottery class, or are we talking like ghost scene? Like, I mean, Seth Rogen wrapped around me.
Amber's never seen that, man. I was so mad. I was like, what? How have you never seen Ghost?
This is
That
so
thing's
good.
that's a
It's so
classic.
good.
Yeah, that's the Seth Rogen I want right there. Just
Hell
caressing my body.
yeah.
The
Dude,
laugh
that
in
was
your
such a
ear.
shit. That was such a shit laugh.
I love it though.
Yeah, just get him
we
laughing
got it.
in the background, just hugging me tightly.
But yeah, so he has like pottery that he makes, and that cup reminds me a lot of like one of the pieces that he does, and it's always different. Like it's always changing, you know, obviously because he's always making different stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So like the website's changing all the time and stuff. But
Nice.
yeah, there's some cool stuff on there. I want to get something from there. I just don't know what yet.
See, I'd love to hear stuff like that, especially with like actors or dudes that we've seen on the screen for a super long time. Just because you unintentionally just kind of pigeonhole them as like being actors. So, you know, they can be fantastic, can be dog shit.
They
you know?
have other
But-
stuff that they do.
Yeah, and it's so cool to see people, you know, or like get to see that other side of the spectrum and everything. Speaking of actors, can we talk about the fact that dude won an Oscar finally?
Brendan Fraser.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
like,
dude,
I-
for the whale.
the warmth,
Yeah, man.
warmth that I
Yeah, man.
felt in my chest was amazing.
That is one man who just deserved everything, all the accolades.
Oh, yeah.
He deserves his flowers, man. Like
Oh my god,
people underestimate.
wonderful.
He was a staple of like the '90s, early 2000s era.
Oh fuck yeah!
Like
oh my god,
he was
man.
the actor. And
all
people
of
act
all
like
of the movies. Yeah,
The Mummy, like
dude, The
what was,
Mummy. You got fucking Tarzan. You got
what was the one with him in the
Monkey Bone.
yes,
You
Monkey
got
Bones. That
fucking-
was the
yeah.
one I was trying to think. Yo, what a fun one that one was. Fucked
Fantastic.
up, but it was good.
Super fucked up.
Yeah, I'm
I
excited.
tried
wanna
that
see
with
the...
like.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. No,
Whoop,
you're going ahead.
I want to see The Whale, but also I've heard it's very sad because it's like
Very.
kind of it's him getting shit on the whole time. And
Yeah.
it's like, no, I don't want to see Brendan Fraser getting shit on.
I
He
know.
doesn't deserve it.
I
But
know.
at the same time, I want to see the movie.
Yeah. No, it definitely. Yeah, because I watched bits and pieces. I watched a lot of the acceptance speeches and stuff because, like, I don't really care about the ceremony. I care more so about like who actually gets, you know, like nominated or receives the awards and gets those,
Right.
you know, like the recognition for a lot of the projects that get done. And the speech that I saw that was really fucking cool. The actress who played the main character in it's like Everywhere all the time.
Yes. You know that
Every
is
little
the
thing all the time.
that movie is now the most I don't know what the word is, like the most awarded movie in history.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
Because that like that the aftermath of that award, or no, yeah, it was just after the award was given to that team. The actor who's been in the industry for a super fucking long time, and I was really glad to see get that acknowledgement as well because I grew up watching Star Trek.
Oh, right.
And the guy who played Data, and like I was so happy to see him come up and be able to have that conversation to like make an avid point, especially about like the Asian Americans that have been treated like in the film industry for a long time.
Right. Yep.
Like to see that recognition and then actually being able to like present themselves and be like, we did it, like we got
Yep.
it, you know. Like
Yeah,
was
what is
super,
it? Everywhere.
super
It's
fucking cool.
everywhere all at once. Everywhere, every time all at once or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
want to see it. Everybody says it's phenomenal. I still haven't seen it
Yeah.
yet. But I want to watch it. It
Hell
looks it looks trippy as fuck.
Yeah, that's definitely that's probably the best way to describe it.
Yeah. Have you seen it?
It's just super trippy. I've seen bits and pieces of it. It's been
Oh, okay.
it's been one of those movies that like I go to sit down to watch it, but it's typically like I gotta go to work in a little bit, so it's like
right. You
like I
can't
start it.
fully invest.
Yeah. So I need
Yeah.
I need to actually sit there. But I've got like a handful of movies. Just like that. Like I haven't watched the newest Blade Runner all the way through yet. With Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, I watched all of it except for like the last 30 minutes, which kind of sucked. You know, like I
Yeah.
watched it, but I wasn't paying attention. You know?
Yeah, it like there's a handful of movies like that I just have to sit down and actually
Yep.
fucking watch them because it just I'm not doing myself a service here, especially with some of these titles.
Yeah, 100%. So, but yeah, it was cool to see that. Like, it's cool to see these older actors that were like have been staples in the Hollywood community, finally getting like their flowers,
Oh,
like
fuck
finally
yeah.
getting the awards that they deserve and everything like that
Absolutely.
for the shit that they've done. So that's pretty dope. But
Yeah, the years of making fantastic content or shit content, but mostly
yeah,
fantastic
exactly.
content.
Mostly, yeah. The amount of hours that they've put in,
Oh,
to just
I can only
creating that
imagine.
shit. But
I can only fucking imagine.
speaking of hours being put in,
And yeah. So,
yeah,
I tend to steer away from the general proceedings of a lot of hearings and stuff. I just basically what pulls my attention for any acts or amendments being pushed through or altered now is just okay, what's going to affect me? Like that's become like my standard attention point for a lot of things that get pushed through with Congress and like even local committees and stuff. But I had actually heard something the other day during a base proposal that I thought was pretty interesting, and I've been racking my brain on how that would be, or even if it would be plausible in the U.S. So there was a movement pushed forward. Excuse the terminology, I'm blanking on the actual terms and stuff. But essentially, it's a concept to where we would adjust the American working standard from that average, like 40-hour work weeks to 32-hour work weeks. And the concept is either the companies would be responsible for compensating for those hours, or it would make it mandatory for post 32 hours being overtime. So the companies would be responsible for that, or like adjustment for work schedule as well throughout the work week, whether it goes from like a 5 or a 6 day work week down to a 4, or whatever the case may be. On that end, I'm sure it's on an individual basis and then have to iron all that out. But what I thought was so interesting about that concept was we've seen it all over the world already. It's already been established. It's already
right.
been something that's been going on for a while. But the study that they used was most recently the UK had adapted that work style for their average work weeks. And I think it was like a 72% positive rating by not only
Oh,
on like
weird.
yeah, like it was like working status, right? People
Yep.
who are in these jobs feeling more satisfied with their jobs because they're not getting burnout. I think it was like the amount of burnt out was down to like a 32%, at least when like the poll was given to people that have been like working that amount of time under the new policy. Um there was no major influx, which is always a conversation. Like, what's it going to do to the economy if we have this already ingrained infrastructure and then we knock it back? We put major restrictions on it for intake and export and production. Um, and yeah, there was no influx. It stayed the same
Yeah.
with profit and everything. There wasn't any.
I would love to see it be implemented here.
Fuck yeah,
Yeah,
I'm gonna work
because like
40 work weeks.
because like you had said, like this isn't the UK wasn't the first place to do it. I think
Yeah.
Sweden or Switzerland has done. I can't remember, but I think there's a couple places that have implemented this act where it's a dead it's a set amount that they work per week, and it's like 30 some odd hours a week or something like that,
Yep.
and it's very successful. My thing is, how long is it? Let's say it gets implemented into the U.S. How long does it take before companies find the exploit around that?
Oh,
You know what I mean? To like get around
hours.
that. Like how long does it take until the major corporations of the U.S. figure out a way to exploit that to somehow pay their people less but work more?
Oh yeah, absolutely. They compensate on their own package.
Yeah,
I mean, like, but
exactly.
that's that. I don't want to say it in like a derogatory way, but like, it's the nation's way. I mean, like, that's what we've been doing for fuck since I started working. And I've been blue collar my entire life, so it's just like I've been on the bottom of that proverbial boot. So
Yeah.
working to the bone, man. They gotta make that money.
No, I would love to
So
see it
it's
implemented, though. Definitely. I think it would be interesting. I would almost be curious as to how many more, I don't know what the best way to describe it is, like how much more innovation there could be because people aren't dealing with as much burnout, right? So they're
oh
able to
man.
go home and still be able to focus on things that they want to focus on because now they aren't fucking drained because they just put in 60 hours for a work week, you know?
Oh yeah, dude. Like, I mean, and it amazes me because like I had a little bit of a fluctuation over the last year of like my career and everything else and like trying different things. We kind of touched base on in the first episode coming back. But bartending gave me this really interesting perspective of like my overall workload, right? It kind of realigned that perspective in my brain of like I could have kept going down that road. I could have kept, on that basis as far as like my preference in working and done it all off my time and set my own schedule and everything. But like out of just a lifestyle structure wise, like I enjoy like a proverbial 9 to 5, where I go in, clock in, bust fucking ass, make my money, and then clock out, go home, and
never have to deal with
it. Yeah, exactly. Like I can leave everything in the parking lot, right? Whereas like I don't have to take that shit home with me, which for me works fantastic. Like I love that kind of dynamic in my own lifestyle. So hence the direction I'm taking now. But with that concept in my brain, like thinking about that, I worked my dick off in bartending. Like I busted my ass fucking upwards of, for a stint there was like 7 days a week. I was in the saddle, like 10, 12-hour days, and it was great. I was making good money, but I hear a lot of, perspective from people in that industry, and then even other industries in parallel to the one that I'm in now that are like busting out 65-hour work weeks, and then like that's their average. And it's like, dude, what the are you getting fucked in the lack? Like, I don't understand. Like, do they have like walk-in HJs when you enter the door that like gets you ready to go for the shift? Like, I don't understand how there's incentive for you in your brain to be like, all right, let's saddle up to work an entire week straight. Like, I hope the compensation, And
I think too, it's so weird. Like even when we were kids, like, or not kids, but when we were in high school and we were all starting to get jobs and everything, it's so weird that there's like this mentality that it's a brag to work more hours than someone else.
Why?
Like I will never, like always, like you would be like, oh yeah, like there's a long work week, like, whatever, I worked 45 hours or whatever. And somebody comes in and is like, oh, that's nothing. I worked like 80 hours last week. It's like, or the last 2 weeks. Like, is that a brag? Are you bragging about like working more? Like, I don't understand that. Like, it's that over hustle mentality that people are like, oh yeah, I put in more hours. Cool. So you made more money for a company that you'll never fucking like.
Yeah, you're never
doesn't give a shit about you. Like, cool. I think it's cooler. Like, me being on, obviously I have a different perspective. I'm on that like business, like building your own business mind. For me, it's more impressive to say like, yeah, I work 20 hours at a job, but I put in 40 hours at my, of my hobby or my, growing my business, my brand. Like that's way more impressive. You may not be making more money doing that, but it's way more impressive knowing that you're doing that. You know what I mean?
Dude.
Like, or just like the fact that you're like, or not even on the business end of it, right? So like someone like you, for instance, where you like that 9 to 5, right? It'd be more impressive for you if you came up to me and said, oh yeah, I put in 80 hours this week. That I'm not as impressed by. If you said, I put in 40 hours, but then like, hey, also look at this cool art piece that I made this week or something like that. Or like, look at, like I completed this game this week. It's like, cool. You found that balance where it's, not just work for somebody else.
No.
It's, hey, it's, I'm doing stuff that fulfills me in life as opposed to putting in
most definitely
just fulfilling someone else's dream.
To give perspective, at least obviously speaking personal. Speaking personal. At least your personal perspective. Like my end game or my end goal, right, with like redirecting is to make the most amount of money working the shortest work week.
Yep.
And having it be an equivalent exchange. So like if I put in 80 hours at some other job, right? So just to make sure that it balances out properly, because like I'm very much on what you were touching on. Like I want time for me. I'm not working to live here. Like this is, I do it for a paycheck. I enjoy what I'm doing, right? And it's fun. I get to interact with really fun people. And like, it's a super interesting industry for me. Like I find interest in it. And I drive around on a forklift. It's fun as fuck. But like, just zipped around on one of those fucking things. But like,
Right.
it's allowing me to give myself and have that time for myself after work, right? The money
Yep.
is to provide the accessibility in what happens after my work day, right? Or like goals, or, keeping my bike fixed, or, like, yeah, buying art. Like I gave you that little fucking walkthrough beforehand in the apartment. Like all of
Yep.
this stuff I've just been accruing over time. I want this space and then the following space I'm moving into to be obnoxious. I don't want there to be a single piece of fucking open drywall. Like I want an egregious amount of art on my walls. I need money to do that, and I need money to
Yeah.
go do fun shit. So it's like I'm gonna try and get that bang for my buck, work the least amount of hours, so I have all that extra free time. Where you know what, today I can take a fucking nap. I'm gonna do that. Like,
Exactly, right?
you
Or
know,
hey, I want to go take a trip. Like, I'm gonna
yeah,
go travel
exactly.
this week or whatever. You know what I mean?
Dude, and like that's the goal for me. And yes, it's a little bit more pigeonholed with like blue collar stuff, or like factory-esque kind of like working class, or not class, but like environments, I guess, as far as
Yep.
jobs go. It is really tough, and I know for a lot of people they do fall into that groove of working those fucking 60-65 hour weeks, and whether that's on personal decision, or they're being taken advantage of, or like their higher ups are putting their thumb on them and stuff. To be like, hey man, like we need you around here. Like it's okay to say no. You can say
Right.
no. You can stick to your fucking job description. You don't have to wear 10 hats when you're, a bottom lackey that just joined the company to prove yourself. Like, show up on time, clock in, do your job, go home. You'll be nice.
And I get it.
Like,
Like,
it's
if you're in the financial world or the law world, anything like that, where it's highly skilled and very competitive.
Oh, yeah.
I get wanting to put in the extra work
oh fuck yeah.
to prove yourself, but I don't think that you should put in work to the point where you're killing yourself and going further than you need to for the same amount of money. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? I don't know. It's just a weird
Yeah.
culture that we've created, and I get it. Like, I love capitalism, in my opinion.
But yeah.
In today's climate, I probably catch flack for saying that, but like, I own a business, so I contribute to capitalism,
Yeah, you're
obviously.
you're-
So like, I'm a big fan of it. I get it, but the whole like over hustle culture of like wake up at 4:30 in the morning and go for a run, and then I go do my meetings, and then I go to sleep at 9 p.m. Like, okay, cool. Do you like doing that? Because if you
Yeah.
don't, then just don't. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
if it doesn't work for you. Because then it gives these kids these like mindset of like, I have to be up at 4:30. I have to do this. It's
Yeah.
like, it's giving them this false identity that they have to create just to be successful in this world. It's like, no, if you're a night owl, fucking wake up at noon and go do
Dude.
your work then or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just a weird
There's
mentality.
no template, man. Everybody's
Yeah.
so, especially on that end, like finding a rhythm that works for you. Like that is a natural working for you. And yeah, you can adjust a little bit here and there to fit certain positions, but like if you're doing your thing and you want to have multiple outlets, fuck yeah, do your shit. I know
Yep.
I know quite a few people that like on top of their day job, they'll like reupholster stuff, or like restain cabinetry and like sell it, or like take it to farmers markets and stuff, do stuff like that. But a very like hands-on artistry, like crafting things. And like they have to do all of that on their own time. So like
exactly.
I totally get like
So you
that.
have to have the
You gotta wait-
time to be able to do that,
Exactly. And if you burn yourself out, if that's not a lifestyle that automatically like hits for you, it's like, yeah, I try and do this anyways. Like I might as well follow a rhythm that works for somebody else and give that a shot. Then fuck yeah, dude,
Right.
do it. But don't ever think that you have to pigeonhole yourself because somebody else it works for somebody else.
Right. It doesn't mean it's
There
going to
is
work for you,
no
man.
handbook for this.
No,
dude. There,
it's
it's
just you got to come up with your
trial
own
by
game
fire,
plan, man. Yeah, exactly. So anyway, okay, we're about 24 minutes into the episode. So I want to, well, a little less than that, but anyways, all right. I know this is a total breakaway, but I wanted to bring this up. And I wanted to say this. I wanted to wait till we were mid-episode to bring this up. So for those of you that have been our longtime followers, and I mean long time, there was an episode. It was called episode 79. I don't remember the name of the episode, but if you look back, episode 79, there was a part where we discussed secret societies. So we need everyone's help that's watching this. I don't want to give a lot of details away yet. If you want to know more details, you can message us on our Instagram or at whatever. Message us and I'll give you more details. But what I need you all to do is just comment wherever you're listening to this from. I need you to just comment. What did we decide? Hashtag WSS?
Yeah, WSS.
Okay, so I just need you to hashtag, just leave a comment that says hashtag WSS. That's all you have to do. If you want more info, reach out to me, but that's all I'm going to give you for now. So if you're listening to this point, which if you're listening to the 20th minute, I know that you're a dedicated fan and you're going to do this, so kudos to you. But yes, we just need that to happen because we have a funny ongoing joke that we're running. So anyways, I just wanted to bring that up quick.
Keep rolling.
Exactly. I'm super excited to keep this rolling.
God,
it's going to be so worth it.
So...
And I want to, you know what, I'm going to have to bleep out the episode name that we brought this up in because if...
He'll go right to it.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to have to bleep out the epispsode name. Just, I'll leave it at that. So anyways, wanted to bring that up because we're deep enough into the episode that hopefully it's safe. So, all right. Anyways, other than that, it's time to do our favorite segment. Our new favorite segment.
Oh.
And for those of you that don't know, we have a new segment on the show. The Shame Chair.
The Shame Chair.
Cut to the Shame Chair. Did you like my my little graphic that I created for the Shame Chair?
It was so good.
So I have a Shame Chair for this week that I would like to nominate. Drake, I don't know if you had one, but I have one that I want to nominate, and that's why I didn't bring it up before. I would like to nominate Drake Mankey for Shame Chair of the Week this week. Drake, I love you, bud. I love you. However, I was told for my birthday that there was supposed to be 2 guests arriving, not just one, and that somebody had reached out to you many a moons ago to come down for my birthday, and you ghosted them.
No.
So,
dude,
my Shame Chair nomination is Drake Mankey.
B, I'm so sorry. I'm like, you know what is fucked up? Because that
now
little,
here's the thing. I'm gonna give you credit. I'm gonna give you credit because I know, I get it. Hey, I get it. This last month especially, been a rough month. I get it.
Yeah.
But I still had to do it because it's been months in the making that I had to give the Shame Chair to you, bud.
No, I understand. I apologize, and I will sit in the fucking chair. I deserve to be in that fucking chair.
You're gonna have to thank Amber for that one because she's the one that brought it up. She's like, you should nominate Drake for Shame Chair.
Absolutely.
I was like, you're right. I should nominate Drake for Shame Chair. So I'm sorry, bud, but you know, it had to be done.
Listen,
you know,
it's due. It's warranted. I will sit firmly in that fucking Shame Chair.
Right. We could also give it to Walker, but we haven't had any contact with him in like the last couple days, so I don't want to give it to him until I know he's not like
he's
abducted or something. I don't want to give it to him quite yet. I want to make sure he's okay, and then we'll talk about it. So, but yeah, that's my Shame Chair. So,
gotcha. It's warranted.
You know.
Yeah.
It's all right. Eventually, you'll get down here. Well, and what would have been fun is to like do like a episode on my birthday, like live episode or something like that. You know?
Oh, hell yeah!
With the 2 of us or the 3 of us or whatever that could do the show in person. So yeah, but maybe we could do that for episode 200. Maybe we'll figure that out.
Yeah, we could do that. Yeah, definitely.
Like get everybody. Absolutely. Either I come up there or everybody comes down here. Probably have to have everybody down here because I have the recording equipment.
Figure it out.
But yeah, something like that. So.
Yeah, we'll definitely figure it
out. I guess, unless you had anything else to bring up, we'll end this episode
No.
here. We've been keeping these ones short. We don't want to like overburden you guys. We want to keep them to like 20, 30 minutes nowadays, not the hour-long ones. Unless it's real interesting. You know, the hour-long ones don't need to happen anymore. We know you guys don't have that much time in the day to listen to our stupid voices, so.
Yeah.
So, anyways, with that being said, thank you for joining us for another episode of What We Learned This Week, brought to you by JD Creations and nobody else because we lost all of our sponsors because we stopped the show. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. Hit it, don't quit it. Hit it and pass it to your friends. Don't hide your kids. Don't hide your wives because we out here make great content. If you want to support the show, check us out on patreon.com/WWLTW podcast. There's a couple different tiers that you can check out on there. We're going to be coming out with some fun Patreon exclusive stuff there as well. And I think that's it. Drake, you got anything else to add?
My son.
This
is my son.
This is the son. There it is. That's the perfect send-off right there. We love to see it. Awesome. Well, thank you guys for joining us, and we will see you next week. Bye. Goodbye. Goodbye. Peace out, folks.
Yeah.